Hello Reds, welcome along to All for United.
Yes, you absolute psychopaths. Welcome back to All for United. This is All for United Uncut, where absolute chaos ensues. You know what's funny? I always like watching this intro. And every time I say we're going to win the Champions League, every single one of you smile. I think that's beautiful. Yes. Also, what the fuck is that sound?
Is it somebody's mic?
This is a great start. Is it mine? It's possibly mine. Hang on. This is a great start. I love this show. Anyway, how are you all doing? Everyone in the comments, let me know how you're doing. If you saw my tweet earlier, Ben's not here yet. So everyone reply. There we go. Here we go. Joe's here. Joe's watching the show. He loves Uncut. We don't need structure. That's what we want. Everyone comment, we don't like structure. And I heard Ben will let us carry on the show into the new season. What's everyone drinking?
I don't know what it is. It's one of those.
It's not a fucking Budweiser.
I didn't have one last week either. It's out of that bottle. I think Stu gets to say like a similar thing. It's just like a collection of random beers.
Fair enough. I like it. Before we go to the next one, you always say everywhere you go, you always need some hope and faith. We've got that in the comments. A little cross as well.
I'm drinking a Father's Day present today.
None of that for me, Stu. I had my jab today. Hey, Corona.
This is a Father's Day gift, which I was grateful, obviously. But I did say to my lad Jake, you know, I'm an ale man. I like McGuinness and ale. Yeah. To which he turned around and said, "Yes, but I like Corona." Well, that's about right. That is. So I'm on Corona. So I'll be back on the ale next time I'm invited on to this wonderful, wonderful show.
Of course, Ben. What are you drinking?
Pepsi Max.
Good lad.
You've upgraded from the corporation
Council pop, yeah.
Council Pop's corporation.
The thing is, I've drank all my beer and I couldn't be bothered to go back out later on. So, earlier on today. So, laziness on my part, unfortunately.
Disgrace.
Fair enough. We've also got a debut. We've got a debut on All for United Uncut, and we know what happens to debutants. We've got James. He looks happy to be here, but if anyone watched fucking Jamie's debut last week. He was a bit mixed, wasn't he? Are you as drunk as he was?
No chance. Not at all. I might be by the end of it.
That's a fucking disappointing start, isn't it?
I can see, though, Karthik, I can see you are going to have to pair him up with somebody. The old 50-50 split of who he looks like. I mean, we've all had it.
Yeah.
And there's only one.
I've already got one, by the way.
Well, it can only be brains.
I'll save it for later on in the show to find out who James looks like. Make sure to stay around, and we'll set a like target. Why not? Let's go for 15 likes. That's a decent start, isn't it?
I think they should put in the comments who they think he looks like. We've all had this, by the way, James. Just to be clear, we've
not. It's just for you.
I will say. Can I make an exception? As long as no one says Buddy Holly, because every time Joe references me, he says that, and it's still not funny. Exactly. Who?
Buddy Holly.
Joe's never called me James. He always calls me Buddy Holly, and he gets less funny every time he does it.
Buddy Holly? Who's Buddy Holly? Oh, for fuck's sake, he looks nothing like... No, mine's a lot better than that. Anyway, there's loads of you in the comments. Lovely to see you all. Joe's here. Also, where are all the comments of we hate fucking... we don't like structure. I want more of this. I want more of this in the comments. Come on. We need to have Ben come and see it. How we doing, people? Hammer's here. Love to see it. Charlie. I've not seen Charlie before, but he says, good night. Hope you all had a lovely day. We've only just started. Charlie, mate. Where are you going?
Top man. Charlie was on earlier with me and Benny.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Juwad, 2 a.m. here. I'm assuming that's India. I think that's India. Yes, it is. Glad to have you on as well. Check the Twitter group, boys. Happy Father's Day. Sure. James looks like Victor Nilsson Lindelof. No, he doesn't.
Victor Nilsson. Not when they put the whole name.
Reminds me of Harry Potter, actually. Okay. Right. Anyway, before I forget, right, we've got a topic. Remember,
Oh yes.
Rafael Varane. Now we haven't really covered this a lot on the channel. I don't think we've briefly mentioned it here and there. But things seem to have picked up a little bit now that Sergio Ramos has sort of announced he's leaving. There's that name being thrown about, but he looks like he's going to head over to PSG. And that leaves Rafael Varane has got a year left on his contract. So if he was going to make a move, it's going to be now because Real Madrid aren't going to let him go for a free, let's face it. So he's either going to sign a new contract or he's going to leave. And United have been heavily linked with him. So my question today is Varane the one we go for? Is that the best use of the money that it would take? And is he the perfect centre-back for Manchester United? Connor, you can go first.
I knew you'd come to me first. I was waiting for a Maguire reference or something.
I mean, he's going to be your centre-back partner, so...
Yeah, I was waiting for something. Do you know what? I think I already know what Stu's going to say about him being a poser, I think, so I'll stay away from that. I'm not massively convinced on Varane, I've got to be honest. He's a very good defender, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's necessarily the one we should be going after. And it depends on, for me, it depends on the wages that he would want to come to United, because I think it would be very high to get him across. So I think we're probably in the hat, but we're in the hat for everybody, aren't we? So I can kind of see, I think we'll sign a centre half with Axel looking like he's going out on loan, and you can't trust Bailly anyway. So I think we will get one, but whether Varane is that one, I'm not too sure. But it's the kind of signing I can see us making, but I think the wages would just be too much for me. Interesting, because I think the wages are going to be an issue. Definitely, that's going to be the case with any player of his stature and the things he's won and the things, obviously, he's done for Real Madrid, but surely the quality of him should just be, worth it. I mean, he's an upgrade on who he would probably replace, Phil Jones, and he'd probably take a shirt number as well. Before we go to Stu for his opinion on Rafael Varane, because I want to know more about this poser thing, we're going to have to behave now because Ben's here.
Yeah.
What up?
Nothing. We're doing a structured discussion, Ben. We're talking about Varane.
I like the sound of structure.
We're talking about Varane. Stu, over to you next about Rafael Varane.
Well, you look, he's not my type of centre half. Absolutely not.
What, you mean a good one?
Yeah, no, he's not my type of centre half. I think, before he comes out of the dressing room, he's put his spray tan on. He's making sure he's got his brill cream in just to make sure his hair's
Hang on a minute. So does Jack Grealish. Are you trying to tell me that he's not a good footballer?
Well, a different type of player. But, for a centre half, you've got to be gritty. You've got to be determined. You've got to be nasty. You've got to be aggressive. Look, there's no doubt in Varane's ability. Let's be sensible for a minute.
So what you're saying, Stu, is Rafael Varane is not a centre back. He's not a number.
What he's trying to say is Rafael Varane is too much of a pretty boy to be a centre back.
Rafael Varane is a Greenwood of centre backs.
Yes, he's a poser. No, look, there's no doubt in, actually, to be fair, there's no doubt he has got quality. He does have quality. He's like any other centre half in world football. He's left wanting on occasions. But that's really down to the cuteness of the striker that he's playing against. Actually, for me, and I know we would never get him, he's a similar age. I think he's 27 as well. Marquinhos would actually be my ideal partner for Maguire. Now, the thing about Marquinhos, he's a leader, and he is a leader. He's a good tackler. He's very good in the air. But actually, Marquinhos will score goals as well. He'll chip in with 3 or 4 a season. I just don't feel that Varane has got Premiership pedigree, and we talk about it a lot, the difference between the Spanish league, the Italian league, etc. And I just think that it will be I don't think he'll be strong enough for the Premier League for me, and so Marquinhos would be my ideal. And the other thing about Marquinhos, don't forget though, he starts a lot of PSG's attacks. He moves the ball out really well from the back. And so for me, he would be the better one. Am I missing something here? Because there's a lot of giggles going on.
No, there's nothing going on.
I was laughing at the amount of times you've tried to reference poser without actually saying it.
I don't want to get a hashtag poser.
I've just tweeted that you've called him a poser, so you can take the shit for that.
But actually, what's everybody's thoughts on Marquinhos? Just out of interest.
We're talking about Varane here, Stu. This is structured.
All right, structure.
There's a structure to this, right? Anyway, am I the only one who thinks Varane's mint?
No, I do. I completely disagree with Stu. Completely disagree.
James, that was so shit. So shit. So Stu, let me come over to you. Forget the structure for a second. Stu, so before the show, we said to James, right, as your initiation, you've got to, as soon as Stu speaks, pipe up and disagree with him. Like, bluntly jump in and go, I disagree, no matter what Stu says. And he spent the whole last 5 minutes giggling like a schoolboy, sipping his Corona because he didn't have the balls to do it.
He looks so content speaking. I can't. I think I just feel like it'd break his heart.
And then he pipes up with, "Oh, I disagree."
Actually, Stuart, I disagree.
No, Stuart, I'll take your poser card and I'll show you this.
Cheers, lads. Thanks.
God, James. That was shocking, man.
Right, James, go on. Your actual opinions on Varane, then.
Oh, I do. I just said I disagree to disagree. No, I actually really like Varane. I think he'd be a great signing. But that doesn't matter now, does it? You just go on to the next person. I like Varane. I think we should sign Varane.
Wow. Thank you for that. Well done. Come on, James. We expect better from you on this show. Benny,
come on, James.
Tell me about Varane.
Give us a reason. Come on.
Varane is a bit of a pretty boy. I agree with Stu, but
he's not even what?
I disagree.
He's chosen the wrong target.
Sounds a bit there. No. I don't think he's a bit of a pretty boy, but I think he's actually all right. But I can't see Real Madrid selling 2 centre halves or having 2 centre halves leaving in the same window. I can't see it. With Ramos now deciding he's up in sticks wherever he's going, I just can't see them letting Varane go unless they have got 2 centre halves in mind that they want to bring in, and then they get some top money for Varane. I think there's someone's quoted about 50 odd million quid for him. I'm sure they'll probably get a little bit more than that, but I wouldn't mind him if he came in because I think he'd be better. He'd be an upgrade on Victor Lindelof, an upgrade on Eric Bailly. I just don't know whether he's mean enough, though. You know, I mean, Maguire's such a nice guy. You know, I want a mean centre half. You know, so I'm kind of with Stu, really. I don't want another pretty boy. I don't want another nice guy. I want a mean centre half. But then, is there such a player these days? Like, I think Stu went on about it earlier on.
One of them's on our stream, mate.
Well, I know he is, but you know, Connor's always mean for the mean streets. But
what?
The biggest talking point, Benny, that's happened in Connor's neighbourhood over the past week is the fact that they've got shit internet. That's how mean the streets are around his way, mate.
Yes, I know. New streets, crap internet.
It's been popping off on the Facebook residents group. Oh my God, that's not working.
Over in West.
It's fucking brilliant. Residents group. Yeah.
Oh, he's not even wrong either.
Great stuff.
Wonderful. I'm just looking through the comments here. Fred Woodward's called Van Dijk a pretty boy.
No chance.
He sort of is, but he isn't.
No, but Van Dijk will get stuck in when it. Oh, sorry, James. Apologies.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
sorry. Is that just Fred's way of saying he fancies Van Dijk? Do you reckon?
It must be. Yeah. Must like the ponytail. The man bun, whatever he has.
Okay, but on the topic of the whole, sorry Ben, before you ask your question, before the whole Varane and joining United thing, are we looking at the wrong centre back? Because one of them's going on a free, and should we not just be jumping on that?
I would love Ramos for the shithousery alone.
Same.
I really would. Even if it's for a season or two, I think he's looking for a 2-year deal, and I know the wages are going to be pretty high. But then I think if we could save a little bit of money on a centre half and just basically not pay anything, not pay a transfer fee, and bring somebody in on a free that just we'll just have to pay for his wages. I'm sure that gives a little bit more budget for a CDM then, because apparently the way people are talking is that right midfield or centre half, a right back is the three main areas that United are looking at, and the CDM's coming nowhere near it. So I'd rather, if you could get someone like a Sergio Ramos, who isn't a pretty boy, he's a bit of a nutcase, and he has a little beard like mine. So
are we just trying to make Wimbledon 2021? Is that what we're trying to do? Just sign any fucker who wants to slap someone.
I'm so confused by these poser and pretty boy comments. All Ramos does is walk around with his frigging top off. Like, that's all he literally does.
He also show off his tattoos like he's a hard man.
Yeah, but maybe back in the day having a tattoo was hard. I don't think it is anymore. I think everyone tries to get a skin for the tats. Look, with Varane, I think the point that everyone's sort of overlooking a little bit is that his contract runs out next year, and he isn't even willing to sit down with Madrid and talk about new terms. So ultimately, Madrid need to sell him this summer, otherwise they are screwed. And we're in a similar situation with Paul Pogba as well. Obviously, Paul Pogba's contract runs out in the summer, and if we don't sort out that this summer again, we're also screwed. Do you see what I'm doing there? I sort of made the two topics relevant, didn't I? Although I think that's just make-believe transfer chatter. I don't know. For me, Varane is good business. It's smart business. I don't think Ramos is good business or smart business. I hate the fact that we keep bringing in makeshift players to last a couple of seasons, but there's no forward thinking. I think when it comes to decline within footballers, centre back to the first to sort of lose that extra yard that they need. I don't know about you guys, but as much as, I'm not really attached to Matt Hummels, seeing Hummels get done like he did by Mbappe the other night was just devastating. It was like these two players shouldn't even be on the same pitch. Like the way he outran a 20-yard sprint, the way he outrun Hummels was embarrassing. And ultimately, as the centre-backs start to get older, that's sort of what happens. Ramos is a different defender entirely. But I would rather we go and stick an extra 40, 50, 60 million in the window and go and get Varane. I think he's a quality defender. He's one of the best in Europe. He's showing that already. He's a fantastic player. He can play with his feet. He can play on the ground. He can play in the air as well. Look, we always talk. Our biggest problem last season was conceding 1/3 of our goals from set pieces. If we take away all those goals because of an addition like Varane, we're closer to City. If we revert some of those defensive errors and misjudgments, so to speak, we're closer to City. He's also nice. He's also experienced. If Ben Schaefer, he looked like Jay.
I'm great.
You know what I love as well is if you go straight on to the comment underneath and a good age too and make them sort of relevant, it's a little bit worrying that. I think every now and then a bit of good business comes up, and I think Varane could be good business. But the problem is would he come to United? That's the question. Who knows? Will we pay the money?
Earlier, the wages will be. I think if he was to come to United, we'd have to pay way over the top in wages to get him, and that would be. That's just my
wages don't bother me that much though, because that's just football now. Like this is what it's going to be. This is the future. It literally is going to be that wages will end up. We won't be talking about them in 5 to 10 years' time. No one would care. Like, I think now, because we're in that transition period of, transfer fees are so high, wages are so high, we've all got to be transparent. We're looking at these figures. Everyone talks about them. But if Ramos came to us, his wages would be bloody astronomical. It's a tough one. I think at the end of the day, if anyone could afford these players, it's United. But it's do we get the business done? Who knows?
What about Pau Torres? Because that's all gone a bit quiet. Would we prefer Varane over Pau Torres?
Oh, 100%. For me,
I think so. It's definitely right, isn't it?
But Marquinhos over.
I disagree.
Oh, yeah, you go again. Yeah, no. For me, it's Marquinhos. I just think Marquinhos had a brilliant Champions League campaign. Scored a couple of really vital goals, but he really is good he's great with his feet. Is Marquinhos? He's a real leader. He's a real organizer. And he will compliment Connor really, really well. So from that point, but look, there's no doubt in Varane's capabilities and his qualities. He is one of the best for me, he's in the top 10 centre backs in world football. But you know, you've just always got to bear in mind, can he cope with, you know, the pressures of playing for Manchester United? I suppose you could argue he could with Real Madrid.
Shoot, he's won the Champions League 3 times with Real Madrid, and he's won a World Cup. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, but those idiots will put a white hanky out if he, you know, gets close to the bag. So they're just.
It's true, though.
Have you seen our fans?
Yeah, they don't understand football. Real Madrid fans haven't got a clue. Don't know what it is.
Bloody hell. That needs clipping. That needs clipping, Connor, and tag every Real Madrid fan we know.
Yeah, Marquinhos, if we could, he's not available, I know, but he would be my ideal centre-back partnership for Connor.
That speaks for that. He shouldn't make me laugh, but he does. Also, Mark's in the comments. Why isn't he on the stream?
Hey, Mark.
We want to know about your threesome last night.
You wasn't meant to mention that.
Was I not? Oh, sorry. Oh, what I meant was Sancho, Jadon Sancho. He's
not getting out of that one.
I would laugh if he was sat watching this with his family right now, and you just came out with that.
Hang on a minute. No,
I'd be more worried if he sat watching it with his wife and kids. You're right. Come on.
I hope he's not YouTubing and driving. He said, "I'm driving home."
Hang on. If Mark Biggs is watching All United Uncut with his family, I'm questioning his morals. Hang on a minute.
Don't we do that anyway?
Yeah, we do, to be fair. Have to go, guys. First time here. I will be back. Good night. Just get Varane and Sancho done when I wake up. Sure, I'll make sure that happens for you.
I'll get on to it straight away.
Jobs is in the comments. My absolute favourite centre-back is Diego Carlos at Sevilla. The Brazilian is a cunning winner with great experience. He's fast, strong, and got great aerial abilities. He's 6'2" and 20 years old. Hang on a minute, Jarvis, are you writing his Tinder profile?
He loves giving away a penalty as well, doesn't he? Diego. Doesn't he the guy who gave away the Europa League penalties? I mean, he's come a long way since then, but like, yeah.
Speaking
really
of,
him and Tinder are good together as well. I mean, he's done a complete wrong hand action there.
Speaking of Europa League penalties, what do we make of De Gea not playing a single game for Spain? Linking structure, we love it.
It's too much structure in this show.
Definitely too much structure in the show.
All right, then. What do you want to talk about?
Not what we was just accusing Mark of just a second ago.
No, better not. Yeah, better not. Yeah.
I didn't accuse.
Do we think that, like on De Gea, do we think that it's actually a possibility that he does go this summer?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think someone's going to come out left field straight after the Euros and that's it?
I think it's. I think it depends on Henderson's hip injury.
That's another good point.
Yeah, but who signs him? Because PSG have just sent down a rumour, so that's his one destination gone. Unless he goes to Milan, that's a step down.
I've always said Real Madrid never been sort of on that quarter too much. I don't think they really particularly like him. So whether he goes at Real, and whether we could do maybe a deal with him with Varane going the other way, I don't know. It's just I don't know. There'll be somebody out there that want him because apparently I've heard rumours that Atletico Madrid want to get a world record fee if they can for All Black, All Black, how you pronounce his bloody name. But we'll have to see, I suppose. But I definitely think there's something in there that he may want to move back to Spain or close to Spain because obviously of his young child and everything. I definitely think there's been a conversation had. And that's why Dean Henderson got a good chunk of games towards the back end of the season. So I don't know whether it be this window, the next summer window. I don't know. I just got a feeling that Dean Henderson is now being prepared to be a long-term number one. But it's strange about De Gea, though. As you say, for Spain, he's not played for the last 10 games. He's not started for Spain for the last 10 games. I think that stretches all the way back to somewhere in 2020 was the last time he started. So he's not even started in this year for Spain, in the year of 2021. So
no, he's not.
I thought he might have got at least a game for Spain in the first 2 games, but obviously they prefer whoever it is that they prefer because I don't even know who the keeper is. But
the problem is with De Gea at Spain is that Unai Simon, who's replaced him. I was reading the Athletic. The Athletics did an analysis on him, and he's coming off the back of the worst season in his career. He's gone from being one of the best keepers in La Liga to statistically, I think, 13th or 14th. You know, he offers nothing that De Gea doesn't offer. You know, his distribution isn't any better. His shot stopping is statistically worse compared to what De Gea usually performs at. This season, they're both having bad seasons, but the fact that he can't get over Athletic Bilbao's goalkeeper, who haven't themselves had a good season. Does Spain know something we don't? Is it time for us to look past De Gea as well?
But we have. Have we not already looked past De Gea? Like,
it's still in contention, though, isn't it? By the looks of it, I don't think that Ollie's decided either way yet. I don't see De Gea leaving. That's the problem.
You know, I do agree with you though, because ultimately he's a goalkeeper. He's still only 30. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Like, that's not like, and obviously he's shown his world-class ability, and even this season he's shown how great he is at times. But ultimately, there's just something not right there, isn't there? There's a mistake in him now. There's something untrustworthy about him, which kills me to say. And I don't know whether that's just an eye test, or whether his stats back that up, or I don't know what it is. But ultimately, with De Gea, I can't believe we're talking about a 30-year-old goalkeeper. Yeah, he started in the game quite early, but should be in his prime right now. And we turn around and going, wait a second, he's gone from Spain's number one, United's number one, to just not being even on the radar.
It's a good point from Fred Woodward there, potentially because Enrique is favouring Basque players. And I think the Spanish selection have actually sort of started cracking down on that. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Kagito raises a question of, are we going to overlook that Roma performance? Because that was a very good performance from him. Yeah. But 1 game out of 10. Is that? Yeah,
but is it 1 game out of 10?
Well, that's it, isn't it?
If you go back and analyse those games, it's tough. Go on, Connor.
Do you think there's an issue where De Gea needs to be busy to be good? Because when we were at our poorest defensively, in that 17-18 season, shut up, Ben. In that 17-18 season, where he had the best season of his career, he had Jones and Smalling in front of him, and now we've got a pretty solid defence in front of him. He's conceding all the time. Do you reckon he's got a problem with just not staying switched on throughout 90 minutes?
No, I think there's definitely a problem with his concentration levels, though, because 1 minute it seems all right, the next minute he's letting in sloppy goals at his near post, and his near post is always seemed to be his Achilles heel. It always seems to be where he concedes quite a few goals at his near post. You're thinking for a world-class goalkeeper, he does concede quite a lot from his near post. I just wonder if it is a concentration thing, and whether it is, I don't know, whether maybe it takes the eye off it a little bit, because
just on that, Benny, because I think you've got a good point there, because the near post thing is a strange issue. But do you think it's also to do with the goalkeeping coach? Because I think it was Mourinho's guy that was the original goalkeeping coach, and that's when he was on it. And then all of a sudden he left, and then we've ended up with, I can't remember what his name is. Is it the Burnley one? He came from Burnley and he's joined us. And now all of a sudden...
Karthik, how much can a goalkeeper of that calibre actually learn from a goalkeeping coach?
I
say the same about strikers.
Well,
strikers need to have that killer instinct to be a fantastic striker. They don't need much more to their game. Ultimately, a goalkeeper like David De Gea, who has been through 15 years of professional football and 10 years of amateur probably as a goalkeeper, it shouldn't matter who his goalkeeping coach is. That goalkeeping coach should be there to keep him stable and, so to speak, positive more than anything on the emotional side.
Well, that's what I mean. It might not necessarily be skill acquisition. It might be the maintaining of that skill. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the coach is using different methods, is not quite keeping him focused the same.
It comes with desire. I speak about this a lot, actually, and
Stu's a passion merchant.
Yeah, player desire is really important because it keeps you sharp, it keeps you focused. If you lose that desire throughout any moment of the game, then you will lose sharpness and you will lose your focus. And you can't afford to do that in football at any level and at any position you play on the pitch. And this is a big issue, I think, for Manchester United as a whole. I'm not just talking about De Gea here. I'm talking about, the players. During games, when we're having, when we're under the cosh or, we're giving easy balls away, you've really got to dig deep in yourself. You've got to look down inside yourself and find that inner ability that you've got, and bring it through. And I think with De Gea, I think he's had his confidence knocked by the emergence of Henderson. I think that bothered him. I think Henderson coming back has bothered him this season. And also his family life. And people may disagree with me on this, but you know what? He's got a young baby, his first baby, and he rarely sees him. Now, for me, as a dad, that'd be heartbreaking. I just couldn't cope with that. And I know you've got to talk about being professional, etc. It's your job. You're getting paid millions, etc., etc.
Yeah, but the poor form started before that.
I know, but you can't dehumanize yourself. You know, however much you try, you can't dehumanize yourself. You can't become the robot that fans want footballers, you know, to be. Now, I'm not making any excuses about that. I just think at the end of the day, maybe for De Gea and maybe for the club, a parting of the ways would be good, you know, be good for both of us. But it will depend, though. It will be determined on how bad Hendo's hip injury is.
Could be Tom Heaton scoring. Sorry, not scoring, but Tom Heaton starting.
If Tom Heaton's scoring, Benny.
I don't know where that's coming from. That's me getting too ahead of myself there. But yeah, it could be that Tom Heaton who starts the season then. If David does go, the hip injury is not
on that. And on the coaching thing from Carthick, what's Tom Heaton's best attribute from what we've actually seen of him? It's shot stopping.
Mm-hmm. Shot stopping at Old Trafford.
Yeah, especially at Old Trafford. To be fair, we need a decent shot stopper at Old Trafford. But again, like maybe this is again like look, I'm not saying what Lee Grant does and doesn't offer behind the scenes. You know, Romero's gone, Ferreira's gone as well. But maybe by only bringing in an actual look, you know, there's many perks to bringing in Tom Heaton in terms of the fact there's also a homegrown player who's a good third choice goalkeeper to have. But also, if you've got a natural shot stopper there, maybe there's stuff that Henderson and De Gea can pick up. Because also, I think at times this season, I can think of 2 or 3 times right now off the top of my head. I think Henderson's been at fault at poor shot stopping as well on his near post. So again, you know, maybe this is Ollie and people going, oh, Heaton, that's not exciting, blah, blah, blah. This is Ollie constructing a squad to sort of help the players with weakness, with competitiveness within different areas to help push them that extra mile, I suppose, which is why, again, Kieran Trippier is the one that he wants at right back because of how freaking good he is at getting down to that touchline and putting the ball in the box. So again, Wan-Bissaka can't do. So yeah,
either that or we're all stupid and Tom Heaton's on you number 1.
Oh, he's a good goalkeeper.
He's a decent keeper.
Yeah, he's a decent keeper.
Let's see if Heaton can stop Ronaldo's shots in training pre-season.
He would have faced a few previously.
Well, true. Very true.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, so Tom Heaton is going to be on you number 1, and I'm excited about that. Right, okay, we've come to the most important part of this show. Now, I'm going to try and find a lookalike for Mr. James Rachel.
Oh, there's only one for me. There's only one for me.
Go on, name yours, because I've got a couple.
Thunderbirds are go. Brains.
Hang on a minute.
The only one. It's the only one. Obviously, that's a compliment.
That's hard.
That's a compliment.
Put it up on the screen. Put it up on the screen.
No, I'm not putting that up on the screen.
I was thinking Tintin if he takes his glasses off.
Oh,
not Tintin.
No, hang on, James, take your glasses off. I've got one, and I think it might be the best one. Hang on.
Oh no.
Hang on. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right person here. Yes, I am. I am as well. Right, hang on. I don't want one with facial hair. I need one shaved. There we go. Right.
Yeah, well, James got no chance of facial hair.
I like the way James got the chair closer just for this big reveal.
Right, hang on.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think I'm good at these, right? And I've got a good record so far because last week with Jamie and fucking Joey Barton, that was quality. Right, where are you, James? Here we go. Right, this is what I've gone for. James, put the bottle down. Come close to the screen.
How big is that bottle of Corona, by the way?
I'm really
extra large Corona.
We've got the big one, haven't we?
Right, James, come to the front.
He started that at 5 o'clock this evening.
Stay there. Stay there. Put on a really perplexed face, like you're confused about something.
Is that Van Ginkel?
Marco Van Ginkel.
That's nothing like it.
That's
poor. That is.
What do you mean that's poor?
That's poor.
That is really bad.
Right, fine. How about Ander Herrera?
No.
Get brains
You
up from.
You're just naming people
from
with brown
Thunderbird.
hair.
Get brains up from Thunderbirds.
I'm going to get blamed.
And leave your glasses on. Although he's a puppet, I'm not saying you're a puppet, but you know you'll get the similarity. I promise.
He's Ben's puppet.
Hey James, bring back Joe, eh? Crikey!
Don't worry,
Hey,
James.
there's
James, don't worry,
nothing-
mate. It takes one to know one, mate. Don't worry about that.
Right, hang on. I've got the picture up. Let me just add it over to StreamYard, and then we'll see which is better. Right.
Well,
hang on.
I think there's a clear winner.
Right,
I
here
don't.
we
I've
go.
had a look at this one that you suggested. I'm not
Are
having
you
it.
on about the puppet?
No, I see it now.
It's got the same hairstyle and everything.
Fucking hell.
I thought you were on about the one from the film, the actual real person, not the puppet.
What does the person in the
What's a
film
real
look
person look like then? Get that one up.
like? What does the person look like? Hang on a minute.
Nothing like
Wait,
the puppet.
Live action. Let's have a look.
What was it? Who played the
What, the kid?
brains in the film then?
I don't know who
Random
played it.
actor, I think it was.
There's a kid here. I don't want to display that picture because I don't feel comfortable.
That's
That's it.
great.
Yeah, you're miles
Yeah,
better looking
got
than him, James. Miles better looking than him.
My hairline's immaculate compared to his.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
I know, let's see what the comments are saying. If Lee Grant stays, we will have 4. No, we're not talking about Lee Grant anymore. We're talking about fucking James's lookalikes.
Lookalike,
Find a
yeah.
better one, because I'm not satisfied with that brains one. I think there's a better one out there.
Well,
Take
you're
your
gonna
glasses
find-
off again, James. Take your glasses off again.
Oh, here we go. Do you?
Oh, there we go. What's he thinking now?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Let me find a picture of him. Someone talk about something.
I'm looking for lookalikes as well.
Okay.
I can tell you about how I'm nervous about having my glasses off because I get a lazy eye, so I've got to really focus to not get one.
Back to football then. I'm wearing the Argentina shirt because it's my
Wrong.
all-time
Wrong.
Football? What's wrong with
Wrong.
you?
all-time favourite football shirt. I love the colours. So, who's your all-time favourite football shirt? This Argentina
I've got
shirt.
Connors here again today. Look.
Oh, that shitty fucking inside out.
Yeah, I put it up just for him because I knew he was on today.
Is that the inside out version, Benny?
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
gold on the inside.
Oh, well, yeah, that-
There we go.
Oh, that is embarrassing. Hang on, let's all just admire Ben seriously looking for a lookalike.
On the shirt, man.
Do you know who I think that he looks like? But I can't find a picture to actually represent it. But go on to James a second. James, take your glasses off. Am I the only one who's getting slight Elvis vibes? But I can't find the picture.
Elvis?
Elvis.
Elvis?
Yeah,
I'm not having
He's
this.
going to put his hair in a quiff next.
it almost is, isn't it?
Oh,
What about Jarvis Cocker with his glasses off?
I
From
mean, we
Hull.
don't have pictures of Jarvis on our phone. Sorry, Stu. Can you upload it up?
Jarvis
Yeah, with his glasses on.
We don't have private pictures with fucking Jarvis.
Not the Jarvis Cocker comments. Jarvis Cocker from Hull.
Oh!
Not the comments.
I thought you meant Jarvis from the comments. I was like, what are you on about, Stu? How have we ever seen what Jarvis looks like?
No, I don't know Jarvis Cocker from Hull. Yeah, poor James. Yeah, sorry, James.
What do you mean,
That's
Paul
all right.
James? Oh, I'm not seeing any of these comments for some reason.
It's because you
This is the
disagreed
same
with me.
James. This is the same James that was going to try and get one over on you today during the stream by interrupting you at every given opportunity to
Yeah.
tell you you're wrong. You
Yeah.
feel sorry for him.
No, he was really nice to me. I like him, you see. He's really nice to me.
There you go. This is how you make friends, Ben. I'll give you some
Fucking hell, it's like having fucking Mark and Jamie in the chat again.
You might as well just do first dates all for United.
Oh, come on, man.
Imagine
Yeah.
that.
Thanks an awful
You know
lot.
what? We could literally create that right now.
Actually, we'll have to get Joe back for that one in his Tinder dates because he would have loads to discuss.
No, we
About
wouldn't.
his Tinder dates.
They all dump it.
Especially now he's over in Sweden. All the
Oh, well.
Swedish birds.
Well, he's on that other whatever thing, isn't he? Can't remember what it's called now.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That
shit anyway.
second-rate channel.
No promotion. No promotion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
that's
nearly
second
we nearly promoted another one last week, and I don't want to go into that again.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Benny,
Yeah.
wasn't he? Kicking off over, over a YouTuber, and she was this close to name dropping.
Yeah, look,
Hang on. Wait, what was that? When
look,
was
Jarvis
that?
Cocker is in the comments saying he looks like the real Jarvis. Jarvis Cocker.
Hang on, I need to refresh my my stream guide because I've not seen any of these comments. Right, let me be back in a second.
Is he actually going?
That's because he's on dial-up again, isn't he?
He's on
Yeah,
dial-up.
actually, you can hear while you're doing a stream. You can hear the packets travel from our device to his really slowly.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
crikey.
come on, Benny, you're in it. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
I'm back.
There he is.
Fuck
There
off,
he
Ben.
Oh,
Charming.
Right, what did I miss? Whoa! It's all right. I like being on the bottom. It's fine.
yeah, the
Off
cool
the
kids are
screen.
down here.
Off the
The cool
screen.
kids are down here.
My God,
What's going on here?
I'm getting busy.
What are you doing?
It is literally like
Higher, higher,
Tetris.
lower.
God,
Oh.
I'm on top
Ben's
of slab.
just ranked his favourite guests. Unlucky Connor.
Oh no, sorry, wait a second. Wait a second, no. If that- if
I was
that
going to
is
say
the case-
stick all the young ones on the bottom. please.
Yeah.
Well, can I go on there then? Because I'm one of the youngest on here.
No, you're not.
Stu,
You're
actually,
you're older than
actually-
Ben.
wait a second, before we move forward on this oldism that Carfit likes to bring up every now and then, which is really
Yeah.
wrong. Can we, does anyone actually know Stu's age? Anyone here know Stu's age?
Is he
No.
like
32.
77?
No.
Right. Let's have a go. I think this is a guessing game coming
I
on.
think you said to before.
Go on then. Right,
I've
okay.
told Connor
Go on then,
before,
Connor.
yeah. Connor knows.
Go on then, Connor.
I don't want to say too high though. It's in the 40s, I think. 42,
You
43.
cheeky bastard.
Is it
Don't
not?
reveal it. Hang on, let's
I'm
all
not
get
saying
it.
it.
Say one.
I'm not saying-
Just say what's your one number, Connor?
I could have swore you said 42, so I'll stick with that.
Go on, James.
Oh, fucking hell.
Be kind.
After all the nice things that Stu said about me a minute ago, I don't want to go too high now.
Hang on, we've got a 57 in the chat.
That's what I fucking say to that.
I mean, if he's 57, based on what he's just been talking about with James, I think we need to be, watching out. Anyway, carry on.
Do you know what? I reckon Stu's a similar age to Ben, so I'll go like 39.
You think Ben's 39? Add another 10 years, my mate. Add another 10
Benny,
years
that's-
and you're closer.
Benny, that's not a very nice thing these guys are saying about you, mate.
I know it's
think it's out of order.
a bit older.
It must be, man. It's out of order that they're doing this to you. I'm going to go 38 for Stu. Go on, Benny.
I'm going to go 39, 40. 39.
Hey, I had 39. Piss off.
Yeah, go on. Pick another one, Benny. Stop.
I'll pick
stop
40.
letting
I'll
them
pick
go.
40 because I'm like that.
Right, my
Go on,
guess
Carpet.
now. Right, so if Ben's about 45, Stu should. That's why you're 45.
Yeah, but look at his head. There's no wrinkles on there.
Yeah, but
She's got Botox. She's from down south. That's what they all have.
Use his moisturiser.
You know what? I did. Do you know what? The first time ever I've had my beard done by the barbers. It's quite happy.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I can see.
Very nice, that, yeah.
Yeah,
all right,
Well,
okay,
like-
you're still 45.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
You're still 45. Stu, you are 50.
50. Go on, Stu.
So, I'm actually. You ready?
You're going to say 21, and I'm going to go bullshit.
I am actually 51.
Get in there!
I am 52 in February.
No, he's not. He's 38, but dementia's kicked in.
Yes, 38 with dementia. No, I was born in yeah, 1970. Yeah, 51. And still, believe it or not, playing football. So there you go.
Oh, shut up.
Good lad.
Honestly.
By the way, we were all way too kind.
You were really nice.
You thought I
insulted me.
was,
It was
you
really
thought I
nice.
was nasty, and I was closest.
Bastard in the corner,
So
eh? And I'm pointing.
I was
I'm not being funny.
apparently the nasty one, and I was closest. What does that say about Ben's age?
Stu called out. Wait a second. Where's it gone? Where's that comment gone? Stu called out this comment going, "Oh shit!" He was still closer to Stu's actual age than I was, and I said under.
Yes, that's true, but he was out of order saying 57. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Benny can't believe he's left.
Yeah, Benny can't believe it.
And
Benny's been catfished. Benny thought
the secret of my youthful good looks. I've got.
Hang on. Is it lots of milk and naps?
Well, working from home, you know, you can choose your own hours. So, you know, I might get a power nap in. No, do you know?
This guy.
Stu lives off the fact that he watched Cantona live and he just remembers it every single day, and that's what keeps him so happy all the time.
Absolutely, Eric. I'm gutted really because I was too young to see Best, obviously, and so I was a bit gutted about that. So it's just out of my era. But no, I try and keep active. That's about it, really, fellas. I box, cycle, gym, football. You know,
everything.
You look mid-voice from the eyebrows down. Hang on, Fred Woodward, I want to know what you've seen below the chest.
Look at those. Look at those. Look at the guns.
The gun. I'm not on about those guns. Anyway.
No, I might have a bit of a, tummy, you know. But, you know, I'm 51.
Ain't we all.
You look good for your age, Stu.
Thank you very much, fellas. And thank you for being kind. And Karthik, I'll count you in that as well, I guess.
I'm just accurate, really. So what does that say about Ben's age?
No one likes a winner of these games. Karthik, shut up. How old are you again? I can't wait for this, right? I've been speaking to Alan, Mr. Tongue, right? Yes. We're going to do like a class report of Karthik because he's Karthik. He is Karthik's mentor. Mm-hmm. I want to get like a full-on like classroom report on what he is like as a student. Could you imagine Karthik is sat in the corner? Oh, hi, I'm the class clown. Oh, so funny.
The class clown.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't do my course, but my internet packed in.
Hey.
Did you just say, "Oh, I post GIFs"?
I post GIFs, yeah. I post GIFs.
Oh dear. We don't talk about that.
Style up, Benny.
You all know my age. What's that all about?
He's 40.
I'm not 40.
Nobody can hear Benny now. Benny?
He's on my internet.
I think he is, isn't he?
Oh, here we go. Here's a fun game. Fred wants to know, can we guess what everyone does as their profession? We've all got to know you guys for the past year, so it would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
Go on then. Okay. Go on then. Okay. Let's do that. Benny, where are you going, man? Fucking hell. Right, go on then. Let's all guess what Stu does.
He didn't want to reveal about his secret life. Can't tell anyone what I do.
Go on, Stu. Let's guess. Have a guess at what James does for a living. Absolutely fuck all, because just finish school.
I'll give it away to you straight away. I'm a professional government money stealer. Yeah. That's what I sit and do in my room, being a student. Sit and eat
that's
all
why
your
I
taxes
pay my
up.
taxes. That is why I pay my taxes.
So I can sit on my arse and be fuck all.
But what do we think? What do we think Benny does?
I think Benny.
What I will say, he does night shifts, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Benny's a forklift driver.
Interesting.
And moves stuff around for lorries. No.
James works at the library. He's a librarian. That's what he is.
Is that what you do?
He just sits there.
Mate, you're actually spot on, Stu.
Really?
I work for DPD, and yes, I do drive a forklift truck.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
Absolutely spot on, Stu.
What do you think Ben does?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Oh, I don't know either.
I'm sure he's mentioned it before.
Yeah, I think so. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know.
Bin man.
Something.
Yeah, bin man.
Do you know what?
Caretaker.
So my little girl, she's 3. She is obsessed with bin day. It's a little bit. So I don't know if you see since lockdown. Since lockdown, they've released these like books about superheroes, and within these books, they talk about obviously doctors, policemen, but also in there is binmen. I can't remember what they call them in the book, but it's not like binmen or bin ladies.
Refuse collector.
They call them waste men.
Always.
No, that's different. That's
James, you're so down with the kids, James. James, you're so down with the kids. Why don't you do a bit of rap? Go on, mate.
that's different down south.
Yeah, actually is as well. Yeah, no, I think you're right there, Ben. I think you're right there, Benny. But yeah, and she now literally bin day. She loves it. She looks out the window like there's superheroes coming down the street and stuff. She absolutely loves it. So yeah, that's quite cool. No, I'm not a waste collector.
I think
I've got two jobs.
Social.
I do work in an office as well. I'm not a
Full-time dad.
social worker.
Trick question. He doesn't work. He's living off his pension.
He's a secretary in an office.
Try. I'm Harvey Specter, but in real life. Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So on the weekends, obviously, I do the radio, but during the week, I am a business development manager.
Interesting.
Oh, right.
I work for a digital marketing and web
That
development
does not sound
agency.
interesting at all.
What? It says you unemployed.
Man.
Oh, you can come and be
employed?
my fucking apprentice at this rate, James.
Oh.
Already
What do you do,
working.
business development?
He wouldn't say no either.
What do you do business development for then, Ben?
Digital marketing and web development agency down here in Kent.
Cool.
He looks like a banker.
So, I look like a banker. Go on, Karthik, make the joke. Go on, Karthik, make the joke. Karthik, I'm waiting for you. Come on, Karthik, I'm waiting for it.
What
He
joke?
looks like a banker. Say remove the B and put a W and you're spot on.
Why would you do
Go on,
that?
Karthik.
That's what James does. He just told
Karthik.
us. James just told us that's what he does.
That's what James does.
Right,
Oh,
what
God.
does Connor do? I bet Connor does something. Wait, hang on a minute.
Connor's
So
actually
far
got a
off.
really cool job.
Hang on a minute. Before we go into that, James just said that's not far off. What is it that you do?
No, so as a student, you don't do anything, do you?
So you're doing it to yourself. It's you doing it to, you know, man. Connor, right, okay, let's guess what Connor does, because I think... Well, clearly he's a centre-back for Manchester United.
Well, yeah.
Connor's always working on projects. Connor's got a cool job from what I remember him telling me, but I can't actually remember exactly what he does.
A project
a
manager. Then. We'll call him a project
Yeah,
manager.
He is a
Connor is the
To
tech man.
be fair, that's not far off.
All right, we've got a clue then.
What, tech
It's a
man?
hacker. It's an international spy.
Mark does. Mark builds software and stuff. Mark's like
Interesting.
proper technical, proper like, yeah.
You wouldn't think he's that smart, would you?
No, definitely not.
Got 2 dogs.
Oh, well, that makes him smart. Fucking hell, James, when you look out your window every day, you must be like, shit, Einstein's walking down the road. Oh, my God, he's got 4 dogs. Wow.
You must think very highly of dog walkers.
Yeah, could you imagine? He goes to like the dog parks where they like run through it. He's like, oh my God, that person there has 5 dogs. Wow. They're a dog walker.
Sorry,
They're
I
intelligent.
went to a kennel just to find out who owned it, so I could bow down to them and their intense intelligence.
Well, then, Connor, what is it that you do?
So I run the systems team, so we look after all the infrastructure and the systems for a leisure management company. We've got about 90 odd leisure facilities all over the country. So anything to do with systems, contract conversions, anything to do with the infrastructure, that's me and my little team of people. So
Nice one. Bloody hell.
Not far off, Jarvis. Not far off, mate. Don't worry. Stu,
I can tell you all what one thing Stu doesn't do. That's teach geography. Because the other day he told me he's coming down to Kent for a meeting. There's nowhere.
Yeah,
fucking
I remember
near
this.
Kent.
Yes. And I ended up in Wickford, which is Essex.
Stu does something that
Same
causes him
thing,
to
really.
be a
Next
Liverpool
to same
fan.
thing.
yeah.
I remember Stu does something to make him a Liverpool fan.
Yes, I am a company director for a automotive website, and I get to travel the world, and I get to go to various motorsport events, and because we
You
work
taking
in,
me to the F1, Stu?
I could take you to the F1, I could take you to MotoGP, World Superbikes, Isle of Man TT. When we're allowed to go, then we will cover.
Stu's paying for a trip.
Yeah, we cover all that.
Stu's
kind of
paying for our
stuff,
Christmas
so.
party by the looks of it in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
at Silverstone.
Get your
Yeah.
request tickets in now.
And
Yeah.
that's what I do. So yeah, It's good. It's really good fun. It's really interesting.
As Stu's left something out, he still plays football.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to bring that up, but I did kick a ball around on the odd occasion. Coach, no. Do you know something? I've never taken my coaching badges ever.
You probably should.
I'm too good for that. It'd just be too easy. I'd be telling them what to do rather than them telling me what to do. No, I've never taken coaching badges at all. I've coached my son through his age groups of football, but yeah, I've never taken my coaching badges. So,
Stu, what's your favourite motorsport then that you cover?
MotoGP by far.
That's mine. That's mine as well. All these prawn sandwich eaters watching F1.
Oh,
MotoGP is the real one.
Oh, here we go.
Connor, you live where you live. You can't not call yourself a prawn sandwich eater.
So he's
not factually incorrect.
I've got a cap here, and this cap is signed by Andy Cole.
Who nobody knows because no one watches MotoGP.
Andy Cole.
Yeah, Andy Cole.
Professional MotoGP rider, Andy Cole.
Hold on. Tom Oliphant. You're talking about various road reports. So British touring cars, Tom Oliphant's on here. And if anyone watches the Isle of Man TT, Dave O'Johnson, we've covered. So MotoGP. The reason I like MotoGP in it, this is a football channel, and I won't. But the reason
this is on topic, mate. Varane. Link Varane into it. And
Varane's a pretty boy. Also pretty boys. With MotoGP.
Stu, that's your task. Tell this story, but try and shoehorn in Varane playing a part of it. That's your task.
Oh, crikey. Varane playing a part. Okay. Oh, crikey. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult because
who said that this was easy?
Yeah, aren't posers, you know. So, no. When we're in the paddock, and I've interviewed.
Don't say that word.
I've interviewed Marquez, Rossi, Pedrosa. If you know MotoGP, you'll know.
We said no plug.
These kind of riders.
I can confirm these are big names. Don't worry, he's not just babbling them.
Apart from the first one, he said.
These kind of riders. But we went to an Aprilia day a couple of years ago, actually, at Mugello. And Aprilia were launching a new road bike. And it was basically a version of the MotoGP bike in colours, etc. And we're interviewing James Moses, the legend that is Max Biaggi, the Roman emperor. Absolute amazing.
Where's Varane in this?
I'll get to it.
Karthik, shut up and let him finish.
Oh yeah. Anyway, part of it was you had some ex-riders. Loris Capirossi was there. There's a young rider called Lorenzo Savadori, and in the background there was a couple of like tennis players, like that Pose and Nadal was there. I mean, what a flank!
Buzzword.
You know, and he was there, and his bodyguard looked exactly the same as Raphael Varane. he got this dark suit on, skin tight. It was roasting hot, Magellan was. He got this skinny black pencil tie, and he was tanned, like, you know, beaming white teeth.
What's wrong with the tan?
No, nothing, but he was tanned, beaming white teeth. He got his hair slicked back, and he doesn't smile, and he just reminded me of Raphael Varane. And I wish I got a picture of him, because I had a picture of Capirossi, and behind him was that flancy tennis player, Nadal. In fact, I've got another story about Nadal, because that tool came onto the grid of the 2018 Le Mans as well. And everybody had to be brushed aside by the same idiot, Raphael Varane.
Nothing wrong with tennis, Stu.
No. I know you like tennis. But it comes on. You're in the middle of the greatest, or one of the greatest, motorsport events. You know, the grid's packed, and people making way for that flouncy Spanish.
He just wanted to do a Spanish version of Martin Brundle's grid walk.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah, Nadal. But anyway, to be fair, his bodyguard, one of his bodyguards, was absolutely spitting him in. And they wouldn't let you get anywhere near Nadal, not that they wanted to anyway, because I wasn't interested in it. I couldn't really. So I went off.
I think this is why Stuart is a bit heartbroken, because he wanted to get near Nadal and he couldn't. So now he wants to get Nadal.
I went off and interviewed Bradley Smith instead. And James knows about Bradley Smith. Yeah.
Have you heard of Is It Fast?
Bradley Smith is really bold.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. It's like proper bold.
Useful
Have you heard of
information.
what did Ben just ask?
Stu,
It's either been
have you
bold
ever
or-
have you heard of Is It Fast? It's like a magazine / website. It's like a drivers
No.
tribe type thing.
No, I haven't actually. No.
Someone who I know runs it, and they're doing loads of stuff at the moment in MotoGP and Formula E. They're they're all over these magazines at the moment. It's crazy.
Yeah, so
Connor doesn't like the
Formula E-
sound of Formula E. He hates the environment.
Yeah, Formula E is a tricky one, really.
You were about to say it's shit, didn't you?
If you ask most motorsport aficionados, they don't really care about that. They don't rate it. They don't understand it. I've never been. We don't cover it.
You don't care about the environment, then.
Well, we care about the environment, but the thing is, motorsport is motorsport. It's there for a reason.
Yeah, but with emissions.
Yeah, with emissions.
We're not that e-motorsport thing.
If you,
Connor doesn't like that.
yeah,
Too quiet, no engine noises.
I'm only winding you up.
if you've ever been in and around an event, a weekend, it's absolute quality. So,
Stu, are you from the Midlands? Saw a car with your name as number plate yesterday. Yeah, he's about that rich, so.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have the only Stu in England.
Yeah.
So you
can I
must have been him.
Can I just say, I don't like private plates. I hate private plates.
He's about to go,
Proposers.
Yeah,
They're proposers.
Wait for the
they're
poses,
proposers,
aren't they?
guys. Private plate.
Oh,
Varane
my
would have a
word.
private plate.
Yeah, Varane would have it.
Again,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
you must be new. Welcome along.
Anyway, that's what I do for a living. Sorry for boring you all, but that's what I do for a living.
No one's
What
bored.
does Karthik do for a living, guys?
No one's going to get this.
Same
Not
student,
a
isn't it? Student.
Not a
Students.
single person. Not a single
Oh,
person.
well,
in the comments can
actually,
get
I
this.
do know what you do. You're a bookie, or you work for
I am a
bookie.
bookie. I am a bookie.
Yeah.
I wish I was a bookie.
Aren't you a manager of a bookie?
I am indeed.
Always a manager.
Oh,
Well, I'm a temporary manager for now.
wow.
We'll see what happens.
They've got
And
commitment
fun,
issues.
fun. If anyone wants to come visit me, it's I'm not going to tell you, you bunch of psychos. Yeah.
Don't most
Someone
people
puts on a
have
bet.
mobile phones now?
I'm not a student anymore, Fred, but yes, correct. Sorry, what was that?
People put on a bet, and Karthik's job is to come out in front of them and scream in their face. Gamble responsibly.
Imagine.
Actually,
That would be quite
to be
scary.
fair, I haven't seen a Karthik rant on Twitter this week. I don't know if I've missed one, but normally he's getting into a spat with someone.
Oh, to be fair, wait, what you mean at work?
Well, anyone. I mean, you must be getting because
So,
normally
yeah,
I turn on Karthik and you're giving somebody grief. You're always gonna
He's a
think,
temporary manager now, Stu. He's a temporary manager now,
Karthik,
Stu. He's got- do you know what I
Karthik,
mean?
you get into one Twitter fight a week, and it's the highlight of my week. I love him.
So, yeah.
Yes, to be fair.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do fights on Twitter. I'd lose my job for things like that. Come on.
My favourite ones with Karthik are the ones that I just absolutely don't agree with him on, but find it funny anyway.
To be fair, I don't blame you. Oh, bloody hell. No, but I don't do arguments on Twitter. That's not my thing.
So, Karthik, can you explain to me how you're able to coach under 17s team without your ankle tag bleeding?
Oh, that's brilliant. That is.
I want to know the answer to that question as well.
I've got Mark's tool for removing it.
Yeah.
Which, go back
It's
to
a
what I
bit
said
of coke.
earlier in the show. Yeah.
Is there any other business to discuss, or are we good?
It is
Yeah,
to
what-
go.
how are we going to do Tuesday? I know we've got shows between now and then, but how are we going to do Tuesday, do you think?
What?
As in England.
Yeah, how are England going to do Tuesday?
What do you mean? How are we going to do Tuesday?
We're
Right.
going home.
We'll
Football is definitely going home.
Yeah,
If you touch Grealish, we're winning everything.
What is your obsession with Jack Grealish?
It's fucking me, James. Tell him.
It's
He's
his
the best
calves,
player
he
in the
loves his
world.
calves.
I don't do ifs, buts, and maybes. I do absolutes. He's the
You've
best
got-
player
you've
in the
got- You've got
world.
to do it in a Brummie accent.
How'd you
I
do it in
love
the
Jack
Brilliant?
Grealish because he's
Jack
incredible.
Grealish, he's the best
I
player in the
love
world.
him. He might play for Aston Villa, but if he played for Man United, I'd love it. I'd be down Old Trafford every week.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is.
That's the best thing you've ever done on the
brilliant.
show.
That is.
Connor, there's one part of this show that needs clipping up, mate. I won't tell you which part, but it might have just happened.
I think he knows.
All over it.
What's wrong with Jack Grealish?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Jack Grealish, but I don't understand whether, like, I think he's a very good player. I even said he's one of the very few that have come to Old Trafford and passed an audition in his in just the way he was playing. Phenomenal, fantastic footballer. But he isn't the fucking second coming of Ronaldo. And the way everyone's been talking about him is like this world-class quantity that's going to come on the pitch in any game and change a match. He's just not. Like, he isn't that good. He's a good player, but he's not incredible. Come on. He's not the most amazing footballer in the world.
He's not the second coming of Ronaldo. He's the first coming of Jack Grealish. Just remember that.
Oh my God.
I don't need anything.
Here we go.
Jack Grealish is England's best midfielder. Done.
Is he even a midfielder?
He should be.
Is he a midfielder?
Oh, no, I don't think he is.
England should play at number 6 and 2-8s, and Jack Grealish is one of them.
A big deal. Oh, that's me. Wait a second. I think my internet went then. I thought it was yours, but I think it was mine. Sorry, say that again.
Even your internet couldn't hack it. See? Your internet knows that Super Jackie Grealish is the answer.
No, but I don't know where he plays. Where does Jack Grealish play?
On the football pitch.
I guess he's a 10,
Jack Grealish does whatever Jack Grealish wants.
Precisely.
But that's not an answer to the question.
He plays on the pitch. It doesn't matter where. You just put him on. Here we go. See?
Okay.
Fred Woodward knows. Grealish and Mount in the 8s. Stick Foden on the left. We're winning everything.
When's Grealish ever played as a number 8?
He hasn't.
Because Aston Villa is shit. They don't have a number 6 to have him.
Brilliant, yeah. Fuck it. Harry Maguire, play up front next game. Fucking hell, don't play in the United defence. Let's defy logic. Fucking play as a striker.
He'll probably score as well, though.
Trippier, let's play Trippier at left back, said no one fucking ever. Why are we reinventing it? But that's my point. Why are we
Grealish has played in a 10 and he's played on the left. If you play in the 10, you can play as an 8. Done.
What did I say? What was I ranting on about today? Why reinvent the fucking wheel, wasn't I? It's exactly what I was talking about.
Oh, was it not Carthage wrong again? Bloody hell, that should be the rant, I tell you.
I think that should be the show title.
What, Carthage wrong again?
Can make a chat about that as well.
To be fair, a lot of people
disagreeing that Grealish is a very good footballer, but ultimately, I don't see like the way people are talking about him at the moment. It's just there's more evidence to back up the fact that Jadon Sancho's that player to come on and make the difference to a game like the other day. The whole cry for Jack Grealish is just.
So, well, when he says Sancho is not very experienced in European football and Championship football, which makes no fucking sense. I think he plays close to his fucking head.
Do you know what I always find interesting about the commentators when Jack Grealish comes on? Here comes Jack Grealish, the most foul player in the Premier League.
Over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Ben, I got that wrong. Big fucking deal. Who cares?
Yeah. Listen to the commentary next time, Stu, and get it right. All right, mate.
Students of Grealish is a poser with all his fancy hair and he's showing his calves off.
Oh,
I think Stu thinks anyone who's ever been fouled is a poser now. That's how it goes.
Anyone with a bit of flair is a poser. Like Mason Greenwood's a poser of the 9.
No, I never said Greenwood was a poser. I just said he'll never be a number 9. He'll just yeah, you did one. You got me there. Yeah, you wound me up and you got me. Yeah, he's just not a number 9. Even James thinks the same. Privately, he would never get Greenwood, would you, James? Never.
I mean, on this, I would. Yeah, I think the only person you don't think is a poser is Connor Cody.
I know, sarcastic.
I love Connor Cody.
Connor, what? Of course you do. Of course you. I bet you love Tyrone Mings as well.
No. Yeah, he likes Connor Cody because Connor Cody doesn't wear Brill cream.
Yeah, correct. Correct. Same as Lewis Dunk as well. He didn't wear Brill cream either. Tyrone Mings. You know what? Credit where credit's due. He's done all right these past 2 games. He's done okay, but I don't really rate him. But he's done all right, to be fair. I don't think
against some of Europe's top attacking pedigree in Croatia and Scotland.
Well, all right. Yeah, okay. We'll see how he goes further on in the tournament. But I presume he's going to play Maguire. I'm guessing Tuesday.
He'll play anyone except from fucking Jack Grealish. That's what he'll do.
Who is this Jack Grealish anyway?
Jack Grealish,
He
centre
might-
back. Hey, Jack Grealish, centre back. Oh, let's just play him.
No, I
Yeah.
meant
Let's get his
Oh,
cards.
if you can play number 10, you can play centre back. Oh, play Jack Grealish.
Do you imagine
Ridiculous.
if United ever signed Jack Grealish? Carter could be straight round to that Carrington training complex, wouldn't he?
I'd be there with my dick out going, Super Jackie, sign this.
You'll be there with your fucking spray tan. Come over here, let me fucking spray tan.
Spray
your
tan?
cards.
Do you think I need a fucking spray tan?
No, I'm not
No,
Grealish.
no,
it's Jack Grealish.
Oh, Grealish.
Fucking hell.
I've got some cream here for Mr. Grealish.
Tell you what, if Jack Grealish ever signed for Man United, I will adopt his hairstyle. That is now on video.
If Karthik stops hosting for All for United, it's because he's been arrested for indecent exposure.
Or James, just for threatening indecent exposure.
Yeah.
Or I've been sacked.
There's a bloke on Manchester High
but-
Street who looks like Jack Grealish and suddenly his knobs are. Sorry, officer. I got confused.
It looks like a brown version of Jack Grealish. What's he doing? That's rather big.
Either way, right?
Can't be Grealish.
Sorry, just on Jack Grealish in your chat on 2-8, Bellingham should be in that side before Jack Grealish is anyway.
Yeah, I would say that. I agree with that, yeah.
I think Jack Grealish needs to be in the side as a left winger because Sterling is shit.
Right, I'll take that at this point. I'll take it. Get Sterling out and then play whoever the fuck you want, but play Grealish on the left.
I think Maguire as a left winger does more than Sterling has in the last 2 games. There's your point, Ben.
To be honest,
Linked
that'd
it
be
all
Karthik's
around.
next good idea. Harry Maguire left wing. Oh yeah, why not? No, I don't know.
You should come watch the under-17s. Just stick my centre back up front all the time.
I bet you do.
We don't
Yeah,
all
probably
watch
because
this,
you're
like
5-0 down going into the last 5 minutes, mate.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't, publicly make jokes about my players. It's not good.
No, you're a good coach, to be fair. Better than Southgate. Ultimately, I think Jadon Sancho needs to be starting for England, and I'm going to leave it there because that's the one thing that I do not understand. I don't watch much, German football, but clearly Gareth Southgate watches none because ultimately his comments on Sancho were just the other baffling, absolutely baffling. And again, you're looking for a bit of creativity. The fact that every single respectable or respected German pundit, reporter, fan, outlet were all coming out going, England needed some creativity. They didn't put Sancho on. Like, do they even know who Jadon Sancho is? That also excites me, by the way, for when he does end up joining United this summer, because in the Karthik, RITK guy, telling us that Sancho's going to sign. So ultimately, it's one of those.
In the Karthik sounds so weird.
I agree with that.
In the Karthik.
I was wrong about Sancho at the very beginning of the season.
Yeah, you was, and I told you were wrong.
I was, and I admit it. And I took a second look.
You'll say the same about Mason Greenwood soon.
No, I won't. I took a second look, and you're absolutely right. He would he would give us that dimension we desperately need, and I just can't understand why Southgate doesn't see it. I don't get it.
He's clueless. That's why, Stu.
Yeah, I know, but I'm speechless about it. If I'm being honest with you, I'm speechless about Sancho. I never thought I would say that.
Why did he take Foden off? Why did he take Foden off and leave Sterling for 90?
Well, I'm sorry. Why fucking start Foden over Sancho? I'm sorry. Why start?
Yeah, no,
Foden?
I agree. I agree.
Sancho starts over Foden. What's Foden done to deserve a place over Sancho?
I don't get it.
That should be a discussion. Why are we saying Foden over
ultimately
Sancho?
on that as well? On that as well, by the way. Again, what's Harry Kane meant to do in this England side? He comes deep, he stands on the shoulder. He comes deep, he stands on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Your number 9 shouldn't be doing all that work for you. You need to have your wingers need to be doing something for you. So either Sancho needs to, or Sterling, or Foden, whoever's playing, which they're never going to do. Let Kane come back. Let Kane come into the 10 to get the ball. Let him come backwards. But then they've got to run in behind. Neither of them have a fucking clue. And then when Kane is on the shoulder, neither of them can cross the ball.
Correct.
So Kane's never getting the ball in the air. He's never getting it. So ultimately, you need players in and around Harry Kane who are going to aid him. Fucking Foden at right wing and Sterling on the left isn't going to do that ever. And that's not me having a pop at Sterling, by the way, because I think he's still got a place in the side. But you've got to get You've got to get Sancho in that team. Sancho has got to be in that team. Enough as well of shoehorning Rashford into the right-hand side. What the fuck? Does he watch United play? Honestly, Rashford should not be on that right-hand side. He needs to be on the left, or he's just not in the team. It's as simple as. It's
Grealish and Sancho.
happening.
How about that? Let's arrive at a middle point.
No, Grealish
Well, Grealish
doesn't
on the
fit in
left,
this England
Sancho
team.
on the right.
Sancho, yes, and Foden, right. One last thing. What the fuck is he trying to do? Having the Gaza hairstyle? Don't even go anywhere near that.
Say it, Stu. Say the word.
Go on, Stu. Stu, say it. Say the word.
Fucking poser.
Yay!
Fucking poser. No, I he turned around and said, I'm having the Gaza look, blah, 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 blah. You're not fit to lace his boots. I'm sorry. If you all saw Gaza in his prime, unbelievable player. Immense player.
Foden's right now is performing as Gaza would right now, rather than you did in '96.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yes.
10 pints deep.
No, you're absolutely right. And the thing is, Gaza was, all this dentist chair bollocks. I mean, they got absolutely hammered, a lot of them.
Well, I agree with that. Foden should be in the midfield. He should be. Foden plays 8. Foden should be potentially in the midfield as a number 8 with Mason Mount. Or Jude Bellingham. And then you've got Rice before.
I disagree with that. Man City, Foden's
played in the midfield. Foden's played in that Bernardo Silva role, which is in the middle of the park 2 or 3 times. He played there against Dortmund, if I remember right.
Was that Grealish?
When Foden plays out wide for City, out wide for City, he plays on the left though. So I don't know why we're playing him on the right when he's left winger for City.
And he plays so
well there.
He's ineffective. I think he's ineffective, Foden. There, I really do. Look, you
can't. It's effective.
You can't drop Mason Mount. I think he's been brilliant for us, Mason Mount. He's quite industrious. I was really disappointed with Phillips and Rice against Scotland. Really disappointed with them too. But they kind of seem. You what? Sorry.
They had no one dropping deep to help them.
No,
who does that?
No, I know, but again, this is the role of this, of Rice. If he's going to be a good quality CDM, he's the one that's got to orchestrate the midfield. That's down to him. You know this as a coach, Karthik. It's up to him to orchestrate the midfield.
No, he doesn't. No,
I don't think I do. I'm a shit coach, B.
But if he needs
all
help,
I do is YouTube.
If he needs help in there, you've got to pull him back. But Ben's right about Kane. Let Kane come in because he can utilise the ball in the final third. But if he's got no one running in behind him, what's the point? He's got all he'll do is to get it back, and he's then got to pop it off to a deep lying Rice or a deep lying Calvin Phillips or a fucking Jack Grealish who's been fouled and is crawling around on the floor.
Right, enough of this Jack Grealish slander.
By the way, I agree with that tweet, and I do slightly disagree. I honestly, I don't get the Mason Mount hype train. I don't understand. I think he's good. Don't think he's that good. Again, I don't think he's.
Yeah, all right, who do you think's better, Grealish or Mount? Don't you dare say Mason Mount.
Yeah, but you can't. But this is what frustrates me. You've got 2 completely different players in different positions. It'd be like who. You can't. You just
Mount
can't.
was effectively playing on the wing for Chelsea towards the end of the season with that formation. The 2 players in behind Werner were effectively wingers. So you can't compare.
Werner wasn't really there, was he? Werner was.
What's that got to do with Mason Mount?
Anything, was he? Well,
Werner's our number 9. It doesn't matter.
Well, what I'm saying is if he had a Drogba there, just use Drogba as a good example, a really good target man, then Mount would be more effective. And I think that's the problem he's having with Kane and his ability, the winger's ability or the wide player's ability not to get the cross in. I think Mount's quite an industrious player. I like his industry, if I'm being honest, Ben. He doesn't give the ball away too much, and he's got a good strike on him as well. But I think he's a steady player. What does Slabhead think?
What, on Mount, Grealish, Kane? Which one?
In general.
I don't know, mate. We've got all night.
Yeah, Connor, what do you think about everything?
Connor, what about the world?
What's the meaning of life, Connor?
Current political climate in Greece. Go on. What's your thoughts?
I've got emotions, Connor, but I don't know how to express them. How would I go about it?
My mum doesn't love me, Connor. Why?
I'll be on to Stu's question about Mount.
Connor, how are babies made?
Ask one of the dads in this chat.
I mean, Dave needs to fucking learn, doesn't he?
I literally feel like my son has just asked me how babies are made.
I don't know on England. As you know, I'm not a huge international fan anyway, so I'm not too fussed regardless. But I know it. But
You love the country.
Ultimately, it's difficult with Kane. I don't understand all this Kane stuff because Kane's almost coming deep and going out wide a lot of the time. So when Sterling or Foden at the moment are finally getting in behind, there's nobody in the middle. So because Kane's having to do all the work,
Who does get in the middle?
I knew that was coming. But I don't know where your argument about Grealish, where you put him, because Foden's best position for me is out on the left. So you put Sancho on the right. So where does Grealish fit in? You can't have Grealish, Mount, and Wright in the midfield. That just wouldn't work to me, especially with
Grealish.
Stones.
Grealish right now is twice the player Foden is. So he takes Foden's spot.
Yes.
And to be fair, though, Grealish falls over before he even gets on the pitch because he's the most powerful player in the Premiership. 2 seasons on the run.
I've had enough of this.
Charlie's put a team up, actually. Be quite interesting. Charlie's put a team up in the comments.
Pickford, Trippier, Stones, Maguire, Chilwell. I mean, 3 of those aren't starting. Rice, Mount, Sancho, Foden, Grealish. That's far too creative. Southgate's never starting that. And there's no Sterling in it, so.
That's a bad injury, that, a DCL. Oh, no, sorry, that's an ACL.
A DCL. Yeah, he hasn't had a look at it, has he?
Oh, shit. That's a bad injury.
You've got 2 kids and suddenly the dad jokes are flying out.
For fuck's sake. Oh.
Talking about dad jokes, Ugly Bear's in with the best one tonight.
The Foden and Mount. I'm glad you didn't say Grealish, by the way. You didn't say Grealish.
Sorry, Ugly Bear. We love you, really.
Also, can we talk about how Ben just tried to mute me and James because we were talking about Jack Grealish?
Dictator.
Yeah.
What happened to democracy?
You get to the top of the tree, you got your finger on the button.
He started at the top of the tree. That's the issue.
Well, it doesn't really matter. He's still there, isn't he? He's got his finger on the button, and that's
There's
it.
no one at the top of this tree. We're all a family and friend unit.
Everyone's a winner. You all get medals.
Except Jack Grealish.
There's no losers in this game.
You all get minutes. You all get minutes on
Ben just occasionally turns up to shows for the massive power trip he gets from it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I go to bed happy thinking,
I could mute any of you at any time.
Yeah.
Right, I've had enough of this. I'm ending this show. Jack Grealish is the best footballer in the world, and you're all just having just.
Can we have a final debate?
Unfortunately, I didn't get him.
Can we have a final debate on whether Karthik's missus is real or whether it's just an account he's created?
She's right behind me. She's behind me. She's real. Right, you know what?
Apparently, Karthik's got a girlfriend. Yeah, apparently Karthik's got.
It's not a muff, is it? With a face paint on it.
Come here, no, come here, get up, come here.
He replied.
Come here now.
No, that's not how you speak to a lady, Karthik.
He's got an app, hasn't he, with a girl's voice on it.
Come here.
Karthik, what's she hiding behind, Karthik? What's going on?
He's three stellar sleepers. Suddenly, it's come here.
Oh,
right, she exists. Right, she exists.
Hello.
Real person. Right, enough of this bullshit.
Karthik, that isn't your girlfriend. If it is, you are punching, son.
Way above your weight, mate.
Yes, see, I am punching. I told you. There you go. See, there.
Way above your weight there, pal.
Why is he fighting his girl? What?
It did sound like it was like, "Oi, get up, come here! Oi, get up, come here!" She was like, "She's hiding behind the fence."
You sat there going, "No, you're ruining my life. Come here."
Karthik,
Anyway, guys,
Karthik's.
Go on, James.
Bring her back. I need to do some tests on whether she's being held captive or not.
Whether she's being held captive.
James, you know what's funny? I was just about to turn around and say, guys, Karthik needs to end the show. He's paying by the hour.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's quality. That's a good one. That is paying by the hour.
It's been an hour as well. If it goes another 8 minutes, blimey.
Oh, wonderful. Jacob's just arrived. He doesn't know what he's missed.
Evening all.
Rewind, Jacob.
Rewind, watch it all back and just enjoy it. Basically, all you missed is you missed a lot. That's all.
I can't wait to read the Sun tomorrow. And the front page is missing girl seen on United fan cam stream. Have you seen this girl?
I'll book the front of the page as well. These lads wanting questioning for missing girl.
Can you imagine the picture of Carthage as a photo fit? Jeez, oh no, you don't know what a photo fit is, you lot, do you? You're too young.
I don't know what a photo fit is.
I don't know what a photo fit is.
I don't know.
I've watched the movies before, Stu.
Dude, that is so ageist.
I know it was the old sketch artist of Carthage. That'd be hilarious.
By the way, talking about missing, can anyone host a show tomorrow? I haven't organised one.
Just do this live on air. Why not?
Oh, nice one.
We're having staffing issues. Someone cover the shift.
I might be able to do it actually.
Thoughts
Oh god.
Oh, hang on. The big question, big debate. Stand up or sit down, piss. Go.
Oh, that was last week, wasn't it? Dear me.
Jesus Christ.
You got to
Sit
stand
down for a
up.
treat, but usually stand.
You know, actually, I
Yeah,
don't want to talk about last week because Benny nearly got me into trouble last time.
I know, I do apologise.
Yeah, you did.
I'm still
Yeah, you did.
begging for forgiveness.
You should beg for forgiveness.
Right, Benny, I've had enough controversy on social media risking my job. Can we stop this?
Oh, God forbid you lose your job at Betfred.
I wasn't on Betfred. I'm just not even on Betfred.
Ladbrokes.
Is it Ladbrokes for you?
I don't know, I'm just guessing it's Ladbrokes.
Oh,
It's
is it?
William Hill. It's William Hill.
William Hill, eh?
Yeah.
Mate, you aren't posh enough to work at William Hill.
Sorry?
You're not posh enough to work at William Hill.
Is William Hill posh?
Don't they wear suits in there?
No.
Which is one that they wear the suits?
No one.
Not the one in,
To be
not the
fair,
one in Manchester, anyway.
Before I joined, they were wearing shirt and ties.
Oh,
And then they saw me arrive and they went, we better change this.
Tactics.
Christ.
You step through the door and it's a bloke with a Liam Gallagher haircut going, "You're right, kid. What do you want to bet on?"
When have you ever heard me say, "You're right, kid"?
Well, yeah, you're manager. You don't approach common customers, do you?
Common people.
Common customers.
Have you got,
Yeah,
have you got an office, Carthage?
You're too
Sorry?
highly
You
esteemed.
got an office?
No, I literally sit behind the counter like anyone else does.
Oh, I thought managers had offices.
No.
We're not in
This
betting
is-
terms. No.
This is
Right.
William Hill.
Stu, he's a temporary manager.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, managers who have any respect in the workplace get an office, not Carthage.
Have you got a name tag with Carthage written on it? Temporary manager.
I'm happy to help.
No, I have a badge that says thank you. My badge says thank you, come again. If any of you laugh, you're racist. If any of you laugh, you're racist.
What? I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at James.
I said,
What did I do?
I said my badge says thank you, come again, and if any of you laugh, you're racist.
Carthage, does your badge say every little helps?
No.
What about, did it say Asda price?
What?
Does it not say, "Hi, Carthage, I'm here to help you, but I am the temporary manager"? Something like that.
Is that
Yeah,
hi Amazon on it?
It's just
Have you got a big round
By the
sticker
way-
with a hand on it says £5 free bet? If you talk to me.
Oh my god.
Am I the only person who's slightly worried about Connor's health? He's changed colour. Like, he's a completely different colour.
Yeah, he always does on this show.
I know. You'd never get this on any other show, would you? It started about Varane when I was talking about what stickers Carthing's got on it when he walks at work.
No one channel would have this show. Yes.
How many stars do you have on your badge?
Not on Mackie these days. That was stuff.
In fact, I actually did one shift at Mackie D's.
Have you ever gone to,
These for a while.
do you ever get worried when you do go into McDonald's and they've got no stars you ever get worried about that? Do you not look for a 4-star or 5-star?
You've not passed all your health and safety and all your food safety certificates.
Would
You
you,
only got 1 stars.
would you say people with 0 stars are posers?
Well, no. I'd if I had 5 stars, I'd be there like that. Check this mother eyes. Look at those 5 fuckers.
I think Jacob in the comments is having a bit of a karaoke.
What?
No.
Dear me, crikey. Jesus.
Right, I've got to go because I need to actually go for a wee, and I need to get on the motorway. I've got an hour to get
Sit down and do
I'm
it.
going to definitely listen to this back.
Stand up.
Sit down and do it.
No,
No,
poses.
it's urinal at work.
So
I'm
you
gonna have
can
to
still
stand up. I
sit
can't sit
down.
down on a urinal.
You can sit down if you're
can't sit on
brave
a
enough.
urinal, mate.
It depends how good your
I'm
balance
not that
is.
brave.
That's how good your balance is.
It's James after a corona.
Oh, the size of that corona.
Who spoke about AFU? When did I ever say that?
Who's up who?
Me, apparently.
That's not what he say. That's what he says in The Simpsons.
I know that. That's why I made the joke, Ben.
Stop playing that card, Carthy. Make us
I've
all
got to
feel
play some
uncomfortable. How
card.
dare you?
I've got to play
If James making jokes throughout this whole stream doesn't make us all feel uncomfortable anyway, you playing that card does.
I felt uncomfortable every time. I felt uncomfortable ever since James told us he wanks all day. He's probably doing it right now.
That's been lost in translation a little
He's
bit.
been doing it. He's been doing it since Ben showed his new beard.
He needs good wrist action, you know.
Whoa.
Needs good wrist action.
Whoa.
You know.
No, we're getting into last week's
Colours about
surgery.
to explode.
Guys, on a scale from Neil, Stu, don't talk about exploding. On a scale of 0 to Benny, this is getting slightly towards Benny now. So, I think.
Right, we're going to wrap this up, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Everyone who's watching, please like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your mates about All United Uncut because it's the best show on YouTube, obviously. Everyone comment, we hate structure. And if you do, Ben will let us keep this show into next season. So everyone comment, we hate structure under this.
Have you not told everyone yet? It's going. It's going.
No, it's not. Retweet with we hate structure and we'll keep All United Uncut. Right. Thank you for joining us.
Comment we hate structure for a chance to win a new luxury shirt from Luxury Shirt.
It's got 5 stars on it.
Right. Whatever wearing.
He can't get his words out slowly.
You're right, James.
James, how is Corona?
If you retweet we hate structure, Karthik on the next show will wear a badge saying, "Hello, I'm Karthik."
How can I help you?
You're making a joke halfway through.
It will say Karthik, manager, and then in brackets, sort of.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Wait, guys, just so you know, Karthik's gonna have to pay more money now because it's to the nearest hour. It's now 31 minutes past.
My girlfriend's not a prostitute, man.
Hello.
Is accepting PayPal?
Connor can't breathe now. He's had enough.
Funny, the stars are actually the rating she gives me at the end of the night.
Do it.
That's why you've got one.
PayPal for a ransom.
Right, end this shit show.
So be safe.
Right.
Oh, God.
Thank you for joining us on All United Uncut. You guys are at your best with no structure and script. Thank you. Yes, we love to see it. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to like the video. This is the best show on YouTube. No other show comes near it. No other brews or green screens come near it. I didn't hint at anything there. Thank you for joining us on All United Uncut. I've been Carthy. Like the video, comment, share, subscribe. Jack Grealish is the best player in the world, and it's coming on. See you in a bit.